All right, so what are some of the most important things that you guys see up here in these different effects of hacking?
Theft of credit card details, social security numbers and such.
Have you guys got the Dear John letter anytime recently?
Yeah, and I also get spam in my email telling me that I need to log into my Chase account and take care of a bunch of stuff, and it's like, okay.
What a pain in the butt it is, even if you're not compromised, if somebody from your bank is compromised, because then you got to go change your credit card.
Oh, what happened with Redstone?
I mean, think about all, I know for me, I'm still from USA about 3 months ago. I'm still catching up with everything that I had auto credited on there. And people saying that I owe money because I just don't remember that I had it auto credited. You know? But those are the set types of things. If something happens, we will absolutely see zombies, bots, Trojans, rootkits, viruses, worms. We'll see all these words on the exam.
No, the rootkits completely destroy the system, don't they?
They do. They get down at the kernel.
So if you wanted to get into a business and destroy their research, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah,
if they didn't back up.
Yeah, it gets down more into the operating system, and it's very difficult to find a rootkit because they hide themselves to make them look like there's something innocuous. So kind of like what we saw that DVD launcher earlier in one of those practice exams. It could take over a process, and then once it takes over that process, you would just look at it and think to yourself, I don't see anything that looks squirrely here, so you just look over it. Excuse me. So in business here, large businesses, hacking costs them, on average, according to Symantec here in 2010, $2.2 million. So that leads you to believe, if that's the average, think about this, because I remember last year around this time for the Target compromise, I was in this Target right next door here, and it was probably like December 20th time frame. I was trying to finish up some family Christmas present shopping, and I got over there, I was getting ready to check out, and in my head I was thinking, I'm going to pay cash. So what the question is to you is that, what is the peace of mind worth to your customers or to Target's customers to not think something like that? Is it $2.2 million a year, or is it more? Because if you recall, the Target CISO or CIO, I don't remember which one, they resigned like 2 weeks later. Now, it's kind of like you're falling on the sword because it may not be their fault. Somebody like us may have dropped the ball underneath that person. But what is your reputation worth to you?
For a company like Target, a hell of a lot more than $2 million.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say they lost more than $2 million because of that incident. You know, the Mapco Express, the gas stations, their credit card readers at the pump, those got hacked, I think, almost 2 years ago. I've had a hard time paying at the pump there anymore because of that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they probably got their act straight, but still it makes me think about it.
Target probably loses $2 million a day on stolen grapes.
Just stuff.
Yeah, just little. That's just for.
They're huge, and if you think about that and the number of people that have used credit cards before at Target, or maybe have credit card with Target, or just have, maybe on their rewards or whatever they have online, since they were breached. I know when I was with a large government contractor as a previous employee, as a previous employer, what they did is our retirement fund, our 401k and retirement, somebody in this large bank that was managing our 401k and retirement fund lost a box of papers that they were traveling from one building to another building in a large American city. And when they lost that box, they knew that it was the company that I worked for. It was one of the boxes for the company I worked for. So they had to send out a letter to 42,000 employees for one box they lost. But not only did they do that, they did credit monitoring for 18 months afterwards.
Because they have their PI on
They
it.
had all their PI, it had the social, it had the first name, last name, date of birth, your mailing address, all that crazy stuff. So, I mean, really it's priceless, right? I mean, hate to use that commercial with Visa, but really your reputation's priceless.
I think with the Target thing from last year, credit union had everybody that had gone through there, they just all get new debit cards.
Really?
Because I really didn't want to because of the whole having to change everything, but I was not given a choice in fact.
Well, I mean, not only is it inconvenience for something like that, but the third one over to the on the right here, think about the amount of business that they may have lost, whether it's online transactions. I mean, think about it if Amazon, if Amazon's breached, my goodness, I do a lot of stuff on Amazon, and if they get breached, I mean, I'm sure I get a credit card, but there'll probably be some gap in between there. Whether it's 1 day, 1 minute, 1 hour, I mean, whatever that is, that they aren't going to be able to make that ton of money that they make each day on that. That's a huge, huge deal. So really, it comes down to how much is it worth to you and your business, and that's why, when I first started getting into the business, and maybe you guys found the same thing. When I first started getting into the business, we used to have to go to upper management and sell information security, but now they can't get enough of it. They can't figure out all the different pills that they need to take in order to be secure. I mean, you just can't. And that's why people ask me a lot of times, well, why do you keep going out and training people? Why do you keep getting people certified? And you're starting to water down the market. I've been a CISSP for over 10 years now, and I mean, it's still strong, the strong certification out there. Same with the CEH. It's like we need the help. We need help, and we can't find enough qualified people to give us a hand here. So who's the hacker? I mean, I think a lot of times in the urban legend has it, or maybe the Hollywood glamorizes somebody sitting in a cave in a dark room, with just some ninja keyboard typing skills and go to town. Well, you know what? Usually that's just Hollywood. And they can't really do it that fast. And typically the smarter ones don't do it that fast. It's calculated, there's a methodology that comes with it. We get into reconnaissance, and you get into scanning the networks and being able to do your homework before you even attempt to attack it. And here the definition that we have here with DC Council is intelligent individuals with excellent computer skills. That's who a hacker is. And so, from whether it's DOD or any of my commercial customers, healthcare, finance, hardware, whatever, this is who we're up against. People like me, people like you guys that are out there that maybe get paid to do nefarious things, to find interesting information, maybe, stuff that's just laying around, ready for somebody to consume it.
Or just like one guy here says, something to do.
Something to do.
They're bored, just to see what we can do.
Something to do. I mean, I had an intern at my previous employer that was, he was 15 when I met him, and he's a Linux expert. He's better than me. I mean, I'm pretty good with Linux, and I probably, if he wasn't in the room, I'd classify myself as a Linux expert. But then he came around, and his mom and his dad were both Linux experts, and then he came in and he just blew me away. I didn't know really that anybody existed like that out there. Just 15, and he could run circles around me, and he went through, got Security Plus, CEH, Linux Plus, I mean, a whole bunch of certifications now, but those are the types of next generation cyber warriors that are going to come to the marketplace. Poke around, do illegal things, malicious intent. Really what the test tells us is these 4 terms right here. You will see these terms on the test right here. So what are they? The black hats, the white hats, the suicide hackers, and the gray hats. I think that out of these 4, we're going to probably see 5 to 7 questions, and probably 3 of them are going to be suicide hacker. Okay, so suicide hacker, there was one question we did earlier, that was the answer. And I mean, it's not rocket science that, hey, they don't mind going to jail. And usually it's like everything leads up is, hey, this person's a black hat, this person's maybe a disgruntled employee, and then the question will actually tell you, the semantics of the question will tell you, it'll say, and they don't mind going to jail for 30 years. And that's when you know that it's a suicide hacker. That's the difference between it. But I think that we probably know that there's a fence, right? There's right and there's wrong for things that we, with our skill sets, we can do. Wrong thing are the black hats. Good things are people that protect it, like us, that defensive purposes. And then the gray area, the gray matter is kind of like on top of the fence.
They're a white hat at work and a black hat at home.
That's it. That's it. So that's usually what we find. Hacktivism is typically at least 1, but sometimes anywhere 3 to 5 questions on the test about hacktivism. Usually what we see with this is that, hey, somebody's got a cause, and it doesn't matter what reason there is for the cause, they're going to go ahead and do it. You know, you think about the folks out there that have a cause, that are looking to do things to try to take over networks. Anonymous is probably the most recognized one in the industry. As soon as somebody says, hey, we can't be hacked, what do? Next day? They're out there and showing that, hey, yes, you can be hacked. And, I mean, in my opinion, from a cleared federal contractor's perspective here, I hate to even be saying this, those are the type of guys we need to be employing to protect our networks over there. If they know how to get in, we need to be employing those guys. Let's try to
probably are.
I think we probably are, but more on the red team, you know,
Yeah.
rather than on some of these places over here on post. But definitely hacktivism will be on there. All right, so now we're going to get into at the highest of high levels, this hacking phases. So this will absolutely 100% be on the exam, and there's going to probably be at least 10 to 15 questions around this in sorted order as well. Okay, the sorted order means that, hey, what are the different phases, and go ahead and give them to me the way that we need to have them. We do a little bit of recon, start it off. Next, we're going to get into scanning. And then how do you maintain access? So, you know, if Denise finds something on her network and she goes and tries to remove it, how can I make sure that even if she removes it, that I can get and maintain access? Not only gain access, but then I want to be persistent. So if you find it,
Create a backdoor.
how can I create a backdoor, or maybe go in and schedule a task that says, hey, if I don't exist, create me again, or create me again, or create me again. And that's where we get into some of those polymorphic viruses that can, on the fly, change themselves, which is very creative. And then, you know, how do you go back and kind of like they say on the Appalachian Trail, leave no footprints, only leave, or leave no cigarette butts, only leave footprints.